Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're really diving deep into the world of AI in healthcare with Raheel Retiwalla's book, Transforming Healthcare with AI.
It's a fascinating read.
It is, and you know what really struck me? It's not about, robots performing surgery or anything.
Right.
It's about how AI can help with the everyday stuff. Imagine AI assistants helping doctors and nurses who are totally swamped,
Absolutely.
or even predicting health problems before they become, huge issues.
It's incredible to think about.
I know. And that whole idea of healthcare at a crossroads that Retiwalla talks about, that really resonated with me,
Yeah, he paints a pretty stark picture of the challenges.
doesn't he? It's like he walked into a hospital and said, whoa, this system needs a serious overhaul.
Well, he points to some pretty major issues, like the fact that healthcare costs are just skyrocketing.
And it's not just the cost of treatment itself, right? It's the paperwork, the inefficiencies.
Exactly. And then you have burnt out healthcare professionals, a system that's really struggling to keep up.
It's like everyone's stuck in a never-ending traffic jam. And
Yeah.
then, of course, there's the whole data explosion in healthcare.
Oh, mountains of data, patient records, medical images, the works.
Right. But making sense of it all, that's a whole other story. It's like having all these puzzle pieces, but no idea how they fit together.
And that's where AI comes in, as Retiwalla sees it. It's about unlocking the potential of all that data.
So instead of being overwhelmed by this data tsunami, we can actually use it to make things better.
Precisely. We can turn it into useful insights. Insights that can help us improve patient care, make things run smoother, and maybe even bring down those costs.
Okay, so it's like AI is this superpowered detective, sifting through mountains of clues to crack the case of better healthcare.
You got it. And it's not just about organizing information, it's about using it to make smarter decisions. Imagine an AI that could analyze your medical history, your genes, even your lifestyle.
To predict potential risks.
Exactly. And suggest ways to prevent problems before they even start. It's like having a personalized health crystal ball.
Talk about next-level healthcare. Okay, so we've talked about the potential of AI, but how do we actually make it happen in healthcare? It's not like we can just flip a switch, right?
You're absolutely right. It takes a strategic approach.
And luckily, Retiwalla lays out a roadmap in his book, what he called the Applied AI Framework.
It's a really practical guide for healthcare organizations.
So walk us through it. What's involved in this framework?
Well, he breaks it down into 4 key components. The first one, and it's foundational, is analytics.
Right, which makes sense because we've talked about this data explosion in healthcare.
Exactly. It's about taking all that data and instead of letting it pile up, using it, turning it into something meaningful.
So like actionable insights that can actually improve things.
Yes. And that's where the second component comes in, intelligent AI.
Okay, so if analytics is about gathering the clues, intelligent AI is about solving the mystery.
Exactly. It's about AI mimicking human expertise. Think about an AI that could analyze a patient's medical history, even their genetic information, and then predict their risk of developing a certain disease.
Oh, that's incredible. That kind of information could be life-changing.
Right. It allows for early intervention, personalized treatments. It's really powerful.
Okay, what's next in this framework?
So the third component is functional automation, and this is all about streamlining processes.
Making things run smoother.
Yes. Think about all those administrative tasks that take up so much time and energy. Things like processing paperwork, managing appointments.
Right, it can feel like healthcare workers are drowning in paperwork sometimes.
So functional automation is about using AI to take over some of those tasks, freeing up healthcare professionals to spend more time with patients.
That makes a lot of sense. More face-to-face time, less time staring at a computer screen.
Precisely. And then the final piece of the puzzle, the fourth component, is channel-based activation and engagement.
Okay, that one sounds interesting. What's that about?
It's about using technology to empower patients, to make them active participants in their own healthcare.
I like that. So not just passive recipients of care, but actively involved.
Exactly. Think personalized apps that remind patients to take their medication or track their symptoms, online portals where they can access their medical records, even virtual consultations with their doctors.
So it's about meeting patients where they are, which more and more is online.
Exactly. It's about leveraging technology to make healthcare more accessible, more convenient, and more patient-centered.
So the Applied AI Framework sounds great in theory, but I need some concrete examples. Give me a real-world scenario where this is actually making a difference.
Absolutely. Retiwalla talks about this great example, Care Advisor.
Care Advisor, what is that?
It's an AI assistant that's specifically designed for case managers.
Oh, case managers. They have incredibly tough jobs. trying to coordinate care for patients, it can be so complex.
You're telling me. Well, Care Advisor is like having an extra pair of hands. It can analyze patient data, flag any potential risks, and even help to create those personalized care plans.
Wow, that would be a game changer for case managers. They'd be able to focus more on the patients themselves.
Exactly. And then there's another example that I found really fascinating called NextAuth.
The next auth, okay. What does that one do?
This one tackles a problem that I think we can all relate to: prior authorizations.
Oh, don't even get me started on prior authorizations.
Yeah.
The waiting, the back and forth with the insurance company, it's incredibly frustrating.
I know, right? Well, imagine if you could streamline the whole process. That's what NextAuth is trying to do. It uses AI to basically automate those prior authorizations.
So instead of waiting weeks for an approval, it could happen instantly.
Well, maybe not instantly, but significantly faster.
That would be a relief for everyone involved, patients and providers.
So we've talked about some amazing AI tools, but what's next? What's the next big thing in AI and healthcare?
Well, I think we're going to see AI becoming more and more specialized.
Specialized.
Yeah, instead of trying to create one AI to rule them all, we'll have AI that's specifically designed for cardiology or oncology or even tailored to specific needs.
Exactly. Retiwalla even hints at this in his book. He seems to think the future is about pinpointing those really specific pain points and then creating an AI solution for it.
So we could have AI assistants for nurses, for surgeons, for administrative tasks even.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just assistance. Think diagnostic tools. Imagine AI that can analyze medical images, X-rays, MRIs with superhuman accuracy.
Or even develop personalized treatments based on someone's DNA or their lifestyle.
Exactly. It's mind-blowing, really. But I mean, it's a lot to take in, right?
It is. It feels like the future of healthcare is changing so rapidly. So for those healthcare leaders listening, what advice does Retiwalla have for navigating this new world?
He's a big believer in staying informed, really staying ahead of the curve when it comes to AI advancements, and
Not being afraid to experiment.
exactly, trying out those pilot programs, being willing to adapt as the technology changes, because it will.
And I imagine it's not just about understanding the technology, right? You also have to think about, the ethics of using AI in healthcare.
Absolutely. Retiwalla talks about that a lot in the book. Things like data privacy, making sure patient information is protected, and those are big deals.
And then there's the whole question of AI replacing jobs in healthcare. How do we make sure this technology benefits everyone?
It's about finding that balance, right? Using AI to improve things, not to replace the human connection that's so essential to healthcare.
Because at the end of the day, healthcare is about people, right?
It is. People caring for people. And AI should be a tool that supports that, not something that takes away from it.
Well said. So as we wrap up this incredible deep dive into the world of AI in healthcare, I think it's important for all of us to ask ourselves, what role do we want to play in shaping this future? Because it's coming, whether we're ready or not. And if we approach it thoughtfully, ethically, and with a focus on what's best for patients, then I think the possibilities are truly limitless. Thanks so much for joining us on this journey. And until next time, to stay curious.